Nowadays, Judaism is commonly perceived as the ethnic faith of the Jewish people. Nevertheless, a millennium ago, between 1,500 and 1,000 years ago, it held the status of a global religion, competing with Christianity and later with Islam. The influence of Judaism extended across various regions, such as Africa and southern Arabia, eventually culminating in the prominent Khazar kingdom. This monarchy thrived for several centuries and exerted significant control over a big part of medieval Europe. At the zenith of its power, its dominion stretched from the Danube in the west to the Aral Sea in the east. The Khazars emerged as a nomadic Turkic tribe in the Caucasus region shortly after the Hun invasion. During the 6th century, they acquired their leadership, known as Khagans, from the prestigious Ashina lineage. Originating from the Altai, the Ashinas had previously established a vast yet short-lived empire in the Eurasian steppes. Following the demise of it, the Khazars gained political independence. They always remembered their Turkic heritage and, even after adopting Judaism, distinguished themselves from the Jews. For instance, Joseph, the Khazar king of the 10th century, conveyed to the Cordovan Jew Hasdai that he traced his lineage back to Japheth, distinguishing his ancestry from the Jewish people who were seen to be descendants of Shem. The first capital of Khazaria was Samandar on the western shore of the Caspian Sea. During the 8th century, due to the threat of an Arab invasion, the capital was relocated to Atil, situated in the Volga Delta. In its prime, Atil flourished into a thriving metropolis, characterized by its diverse population encompassing various ethnicities and religious beliefs. The city was divided into 3 distinct sections, separated by the flowing river. The western portion of the city served as a fortified stronghold, accommodating the royal court and housing a military garrison of approximately 12,000 individuals. The king resided separately within a stately brick palace nestled on an island. Across the river on the eastern bank, a bustling hub for commerce and craftsmanship stood, where people from different countries and religious backgrounds harmoniously coexisted. For instance, the Muslim community numbered around 10,000 strong, drawn to the Khazar capital by justice and security. To ensure fair resolutions for disputes arising among the various communities, a panel of 7 judges was established. It consisted of 2 Jewish representatives, 2 Muslim representatives, 2 Christian representatives, and 1 representative from the pagan community. The success of the Khazars can be attributed, in part, to their control over a bustling trade route that spanned the Volga River. The route served as a crucial link between the Arab Caliphate and the north, including the Slavic countries and Western Europe. Ahmad ibn Fadlan, a renowned Arab writer and diplomat, journeyed along this route during the 10th century and partly described it. Traders from the north transported valuable goods such as furs, falcons, and possibly slaves. In return, merchants from the Arab Caliphate exchanged silver dirhams as payment. Gradually, the dirhams became the dominant currency across lands stretching from the Caspian Sea to Scandinavia, and when the Khazar Khaganate ceased to exist towards the end of the 10th century, a significant decline ensued in the circulation of silver coins throughout all Eastern and Northern Europe. The trade route's dominance and subsequent profits were deeply intertwined with complex political dynamics involving neighboring peoples, the Arab Caliphate, and Byzantium. Before forming a reliable trade partnership with the Arabs and Persians, the Khazars were caught up in bloody wars with them. The Byzantines cleverly employed the Khazars as allies in their conflicts with the Arabs, while also fostering tensions between the Khazars and neighboring nomadic societies. Both, Muslims and Christians, held a negative view of the Khazars due to their adherence to paganism. To gain equal standing with them, the Khazars needed to embrace one of the Abrahamic religions. We know little about the original religion of the Khazars. The available Arabic and Armenian accounts portraying it are sparse and inconsistent, influenced by aspects borrowed from the ancient Iranian mythology. It is likely that, similar to other Turkic peoples, they held reverence for the heavens. By the early 8th century, the influence of the revered Khagans from the Ashina lineage had diminished, while the true authority rested in the hands of the Beks, who were esteemed military commanders. According to the tale recounted by the King Joseph, a divine angel appeared to the Bek Bulan in a vivid dream, urging him to embrace the Judaic faith and construct a sacred sanctuary in exchange for the expansion of his kingdom. Bulan convened a gathering of Khazar leaders and commoners, seeking their consensus to adopt Judaism. In 730, he executed a successful raid on the prosperous Muslim city of Ardabil, amassing great wealth which he subsequently housed within a purpose-built Judaic tabernacle temple. The rulers of Byzantium and the Caliphate, upon hearing about the Khazars embracing Judaism, dispatched their own religious messengers to engage them. Bulan cleverly orchestrated a debate with those preachers and compelled the Christian preacher to acknowledge the supremacy of Judaism over Islam, while convincing the Muslim preacher of Judaism's superiority over Christianity. In this way, Bulan steadfastly adhered to his beliefs and remained devoted to Judaism. His descendant Obadiah embraced an orthodox branch of Judaism, fostering a welcoming environment for Jewish scholars by establishing educational institutions and synagogues. Today we should question Josephus' account that all the Khazars embraced Judaism wholeheartedly. Recent archaeological findings have uncovered stones and ceramics embellished with Turkic religious symbols, even of the 10th century. It is conceivable that, alongside the Orthodox believers, there existed individuals from other branches of Judaism who solely acknowledged the Pentateuch. However, the Khazar kingdom's religious transformations under the leadership of Bulan and Obadiah rendered it a safe haven for erudite and ambitious Jews who sought refuge from persecution in Byzantium and Muslim states. They wholeheartedly contributed to the subsequent prosperity of the Khazar kings. The fall of the Khazar kingdom was unexpected. Joseph, who reigned until the early 960s, remained steadfast in his power and authority. However, in 965, a few years following his demise, the Russian prince Sviatoslav, puppeteered by the Byzantines, took control of Atil and totally looted it. This event compelled the Khazars to seek aid from the Muslim state of Khwarezm, and eventually, in 981, they received the promised support in exchange for their conversion to Islam. The once mighty Khazaria, now weakened and vulnerable, ultimately ceased to exist with the invasion by the nomadic Cumans in the mid-11th century. By 1064, the last remaining 3,000 Khazars migrated from the Volga steppes to the Caucasus, signifying the end of their presence. Prior to this, a certain number of Khazars accompanied the Hungarians in their journey to Central Europe. Nowadays, the occurrence of the Khazars embracing Judaism is sometimes exploited as a pretext for unsound conjectures, claiming that a notable portion of European Jews possess Turkic ancestry instead of Middle Eastern origins. Nevertheless, these claims are effortlessly disproven by genetic research. On the other hand, the history of Khazaria is much more captivating as it illuminates the significant influence of diverse groups throughout the Middle Ages and the pivotal role played by religions in their very survival. The Khazars' embrace of the Jewish faith enabled them to flourish and preserve their distinct culture amidst the dominance of Christian and Islamic nations. If you enjoy our short informative video, put your like and subscribe. Do not miss our upcoming videos. We may be a bit awkward, but we always manage to have a good time and find joy in the little things.